How's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. I just want to show you a little more of the table there, hopefully. Okay. So, like I was starting to say, I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you see this. This is going to be a general reading for fire sign Leo, the lion, all right? And it is a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And this reading may resonate for you even if you are not a sun sign Leo, or rising Leo, or even moon Leo, because we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each of our individual birth charts. So, you may look for matters of love, right? Like, what is your Venus? If your Venus is in Leo, this could be some messages for you there too as well. But yeah, it doesn't really necessarily matter where exactly it is in your chart, but there's hopefully something that you can take away from it. And I also wanted to say that if you haven't already gotten your own placements and had a birth chart done before, you can get a free one online just by Googling it and finding out your other placements. For instance, because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, with your rising sign, or your moon sign, okay? So that's something we wanted to talk about real quickly in the beginning that I try to remember to mention. So I pulled all of your cards here already, Leo, and so we're going to get into your reading in just a moment. I also wanted to tell people that if you're new, welcome, right? And even if you're not new and you're coming back, welcome back. So I do take one photo at the end of all of the cards in case you want to look at it up close later in more detail. So if you want to check that out, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to get it on my Facebook page. What else? Happy holidays if you celebrate any holidays or already have. Wintertime holidays, right? Or depending on where you are in the world, maybe it's not necessarily winter, but it's still a holiday. So I did want to say that. And what else? This reading is timeless as well. Okay, so for some people, for instance, even though the original title says from November 24th through January 2nd of next year, right? It could resonate 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future, days, weeks, hours, minutes, seconds, etc. It all just depends on you, since time is fluid and relative, okay? So that's one other thing I was going to mention, but I think that's pretty much it. Also, if you want to look into the astrology of this time period, there should be on my channel in the videos section another video that is just the astrology for this time period. All right, so I did finally find my big sound bell from one of my boxes yesterday. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll get back into that. And we are covering a longer time period than I normally do. I'm going to set my timer. Even though I don't really always stick to it. So instead of, a 2-week time period, we're doing 6 weeks, right? So we're going to go back a little bit in the past, right, to about around November 24th or so. Again, it's not exact. And we'll go week by week each of the 6 weeks until about January 2nd or so. Again, not exact, okay? Yeah, so to help grounding, for not only me, but you guys for the reading and general healing, I'm going to do the little sound bell real quickly. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever. And just be aware, sometimes it is a little loud, especially if you're wearing headphones or something, okay? So I'll try not to be super loud, but I haven't done it in a while, so we'll see how it goes. All right. All right, Leo. Let's get into it. All right. So I'll just put this here. Okay. So I wanted to mention, right, that we use two different decks for this reading if you haven't been here before, okay? So we're going to go over the first section here in the middle, the first grouping of cards, the first 9 cards. And then we'll talk about your tarot confirmation card from the other deck, and then also what's on the top and the bottom of one of the decks, okay? And then we'll get to the second group, and at the very end we have some oracle cards as well. All right, so I'll call them out and then we'll kind of go in order from there. So also wanted to mention, I counted ahead of time here, Leo, you have 7 major arcanas. So that means a lot of change could be going on at this time for you, but again, it will resonate for everyone in different ways since it's a general reading. But 7 is a lot. Sometimes you only get 1 or 2. I mean, obviously you can get more major arcanas in the more cards that you use, right? And we also are using 2 different decks. So there was 2 of them in the other deck. So technically you had, what did I say, 7? So 5 of those were from this deck, and then the other deck, there was 2 more, okay? So I also want to call out the zodiac signs real quickly in case you're looking, if you're dealing with other people, multiple people, general environment situation, and you want to see if their zodiac sign showed up or yours, if you're a cross watcher or vice versa, whatever, okay? So we have Sagittarius showing up in your reading. We have Gemini showing up in your reading. We have Taurus showing up in your reading. We have Taurus again showing up in your reading. We have Aquarius showing up in your reading. Scorpio. What is it? Okay, so the world card is Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. So you are showing up in your reading again. And then we also have Pisces and Gemini twice, Pisces twice, Leo twice, and that's it. Okay, so it could be that you're dealing with some of those signs, or your person that you're dealing with, your main person you're dealing with, again, depending on what you're watching the reading for, it could be of one of those signs or have that predominantly in their chart or in your chart, or it could mean nothing at all, but I wanted to mention it. Okay, so moving forward, back to where we were at, calling out your cards. So you have the Magician in the right side up position. You have the Priestess of Sacred Circles, Princess, sorry. Okay, maybe she's a priestess too. Princess of Sacred Circles, the Fool in the right side up position. Princess of Cups, Ace of Swords right side up, 9 of Staves right side up, 9 of Swords right side up, 10 of Staves right side up, and Queen of Sacred Circles in the reverse. Okay, and then we'll talk about the other ones down here after. I also wanted to mention here, Leo, that you have a lot of staves, also known as wands, okay, in your reading here. So you have, let's call them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that it? 6. Okay. So the wands in the tarot can be our defenses, but also, you know, if you think of a wand, or it's very similar to a sword in the way that it can be a weapon, but it can also be a tool. It's a big stick, right? So you can build a house or you can beat someone up with it, okay? So there could be something going on with your defenses here, or building something in the background is like a kind of an undertone to your reading. All right, so I wanted to mention that. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into it here with your beautiful card. And you do have 2 repeating cards showing up in your reading. We'll talk about that a little later. But your first tarot card here, Leo, is the Magician, and it's a little bit of that Sagittarius energy I mentioned before. Can be also Gemini, right? Or even a little bit of Leo energy, depending on how you're interpreting it, okay? But this is a really beautiful, confident energy that we're looking at in that first week around November 24th or so, okay? And it is for momentum energy, right? He has all the tools that he needs. If you look at this magician, right, on his table, he has all the minor arcanas on there. So he has the cups, he's got the pentacles, he's got the sword, and he's got the wand, okay? All the minor arcanas are there, okay? And he's got the infinity symbol above his head, right? He's timeless, he's manifesting. So this is very abundant energy as well that we start your reading off here with Leo. And this could be energy from the recent past that's still kind of lingering around in that first week of November 24th. Or it could just be that energy, right? And what is recent past? If this is energy from the recent past, it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, hours, minutes, seconds, months, years, however it resonates for you, okay? It could also be, if we go back to the week of November 24th, we were still technically in Sagittarius season. I did say that the magician represents Sagittarius energy. So that could be showing up there, not only because maybe you were dealing with the Sagittarius, or you have a lot of that in your chart, or they do, or vice versa, or the general environment situation, okay? But however you find it, it is a really beautiful, abundant card, okay? Right, like I said, very confident. He has all the tools that he needs. Now, moving forward to your second tarot card, here is, I called her the priestess, but is the princess of sacred circles, or Princess of Pentacles is the same thing in this deck, okay? But this is about planting seeds for the future. It's about being open to learning new things and leveling up in some way, right? She's not a queen yet, she's a princess, so she's still learning some things. But this is also a very abundant energy. And you see this Native American woman who's pregnant, right? Planting the seeds for the future, but then she also has another little child in her arms here, okay? So it has this really beautiful kind of feminine, nurturing energy going on here as well, okay? Now, when we, move forward here into your third card, this is where we have a little bit of your first or second kind of card of some Gemini energy. Okay, this is the Fool in the right side up position as your third card here. And this is talking about taking a leap of faith in some way. It could be, since depending on when you're watching this reading, but when I'm filming it today on the 22nd of December, right? This is, taking a leap of faith, right? Taking a risk of maybe looking foolish to someone else or to even yourself, right? It could have been energy of that weekend of November 24th or around there, okay? But it is also about new beginnings, and it's this really youthful energy, right? The Gemini energy can be considered very youthful. And so it's also about, on the more serious side of the card, the way especially it's shown in this deck, is this tarot woman is doing someone's cards, and she's holding a card that's like the mirror reflection of herself, okay? And then there's a mirror behind her. So it's also talking about dealing with issues of identity. Who are you in the mirror? How do you show yourself to others? How do you see yourself? How do others see you? All those things and your choices, and maybe this leap of faith or looking foolish to yourself or others kind of comes up here as well. But it's still a really nice energy to that card, okay? Now, moving forward, you have your second kind of priestess. Oh my God, I keep saying it, priestess. Well, technically, this is Morgana, so she kind of is a priestess. But I meant to say Princess of Cups. Okay, so Morgana here is, the figure of she is all about herbal magic, right? So she is kind of the symbol for that in some of the culture of like Irish and Celtic and all of that, okay? So what is really interesting about this card too is that she's picking herbs, right, for her magic at night, okay? The moon is in the background as well. Okay, she has her emotions in control. There's water there as well. Okay, but it could be saying that in the week of the second week that we're looking at here, this is around November 29th or so, that week, you yourself here, Leo, or someone around you in your general environment situation was maybe doing things at different times, not necessarily to hide things, but for some they were, right? When we talk about the moon, okay, that could talk about secrets or not seeing things clearly. Um, but it's really more about doing, I feel the way that I interpret this card is doing things at the time that is the most beneficial to you, right? So maybe she has to get certain herbs at a certain time of night because that's when they bloom. I don't know. I don't know a lot about plants. Or maybe she's got a lot of kids at home, or she's got a lot of responsibilities, or whatever it may be. Okay. But it's really, the main thing here, right, is that she's a princess, right? And she's Morgana, but she's the princess of cups. And cups in the tarot represent our emotional fulfillment, emotional contentment, happiness, emotional priorities. Okay. So she's got her cup right side up. She knows what she wants. She knows what makes her happy, and she's going after that. Okay. And I would really say, your first four cards here, Leo, are really positive, and even beyond that. Okay, we'll get into, but really nice. And when we talk about too, both of these princess cards, right, it could be potential for leveling up in some way, right? She's a princess, she's not a queen, but she's open to learning, okay? So that's a really nice energy. Now, when we get into your fifth card here, which is also a very nice, beautiful card as well, or positive, right, is the Ace of Swords in the right side up position. So this is about mental clarity. This is about, birthing new projects, new relationships, new beginnings, okay? All of those things, because it could be seen kind of as, a phallic symbol, but that would be more of the Ace of Wands. This is the Ace of Swords. So it's more about, again, wands, like I said earlier, are similar to swords in the way that it can be a tool or it can be a weapon, right? So when I think of the Ace of Swords, it's almost like that clearing away the cobwebs, clearing away the clouds, right? Having this mental clarity that's coming over and sweeping out all the traffic in front of you, like all of a sudden all the cars are gone, or however you want to kind of talk about it. But it's like a beautiful clearing of energy to whatever you're working on in your life, whatever you're trying to manifest or create, okay? And it could just be that your intention is really clear, going back to the Princess of Cups. You know what you want, you know what makes you happy, you know what makes you fulfilled, and so you're going to go after that, and you have this really kind of, not tunnel vision, but this focus, this determination, and mental clarity of the Ace of Swords, okay? Now, with all this abundant energy that's going on here for you, Leo, by the time you get to your sixth card in the end of that second row of November 29th or so, you have the Nine of Staves in the right side up position. So this could be a little bit of a warning of getting exhausted or burned out in some way. And you see this African young man, right? And he's on some type of rite of passage, and he's taking a break here, kneeling down in the grasses. Okay, so it's almost being like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm really tired, right? But this is kind of saying, don't give up. You're almost there. Because, right? It's a 9 card, and in tarot, 10 would be a completion number. So it's like I'm almost at the end of something and the beginning of something else. Okay, so endings and new beginnings right around the corner. Now, a couple of the other zodiac readings that I've done for this time period did have the Nine of Staves in their reading as well, not in the same placement, of course, but it could also kind of hint to, what's going on as far as the end of one calendar year and the beginning of another of the new year right around the horizon as well, can kind of give these energies, especially with everyone dealing with the pandemic, of just being like, okay, I'm done with this year, or this year has been a lot and I'm tired, that kind of thing. But it's like saying, don't necessarily give up. Take the time to take care of yourself and your mind, body, spirit connection, of course, but just don't give up on your goals if it is something, positive, right? Now, moving forward here, Leo, your 7th card is the Nine of Swords in the right side up position. Now, this talks about a little bit of anxiety, worry, overthinking, or being too much up in your head, and it kind of makes sense since it's following. And then again, if this isn't you, Leo, the whole reading, it could be a person you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, your general environment situation. Just take what resonates with you, all right? But what I was starting to say was when this Nine of Swords follows, and there's both nine, right? The Nine of Staves. It's like, okay, I'm exhausted. I want to give up. And the more exhausted I am, I'm not going to have mental clarity. I'm going to be overthinking too much in my head. If I have a lot of things I want to accomplish and get done, this is going to, stress me out if I don't get the rest that I need. So it kind of makes sense that they are following each other. And it also could be that if this is a leveling up, like we talked about with the Nine of Staves, right? It could be that maybe that one of you yourself, Leo, the other person, or multiple people, could be a little nervous about this leveling up, this ending a new beginning, right? So leveling up could be moving to a new stage of a relationship with friends or family, or a romantic partnership, or a work partnership, or in a project, or whatever it may be. So there could just be a lot of anxiety about this leveling up in some way, okay? But it doesn't last long because, oh my gosh, what do we have? 2 nines here, Leo, and then bam, your eighth card is a 10, the 10 of staves in the right side up position, also known as 10 of wands. Okay, and so it could be that in this third week, and this week I think I said was around December 6th, okay, or so, right? Not exact. It could be that in the middle of just the week of December 6th, there is this ending, a new beginning, this culmination of events coming together, okay? But you see this African woman here, and she's got one baby on her back and a younger child in front of her, and all of these 10 wands on her other shoulder here, okay? So now she's ready to put the wands down and, make a house or do whatever, make a fence, whatever she's doing with the wands, okay? So it's also talking about maybe now you find yourself in the energy of maybe putting some responsibilities down in some way, if it's leveling up at work, or business partnership, or creative project. It could be now you can delegate tasks if you are in a position higher than others, so then you can take a little bit of a rest from all of the hard work and experience you put in to get there, okay? But it really just, again, is a general reading, so it depends. Now, what's going on right here, Leo, is really interesting, and I haven't felt it in quite some time with the other readings that I've been doing, and I have to look back at your readings because I can't remember in the past if you had this coming up, okay? So, well, I'm trying to figure out when to talk about it, but I guess first let's talk about your ninth card and what it means, and then I'll tie it in and tell you about this interesting energy that I picked up for you. Okay, so your ninth card is the Queen of Sacred Circles in the reverse position here. Okay, and this is the end of that week of December 6th or so. All right, there seems to be a lack of a nurturing energy here, right? So normally when it's right side up, this grandmother spirit is taking care of this baby, right? And so it's a very abundant energy when it's right side up. When it's reversed, it could be stagnant energy. If it has nothing to do with the nurturing side, it could just be stagnant energy. It could also be, sorry guys. Sorry. It could also be with the moon, really small at the top. So the week of December 6th, we haven't hit the moon yet, but sometimes people feel the full moon ahead of time, right? So the full moon was on December 18th, 19th. So the full moon, right, represents that Pisces energy of creative energy, intense emotional energy, whether it's good or bad, but also illusions, right? So when it's in reverse, it could be that, you find yourself at the end of this week letting go of some illusions, but still there is this missing element of some kind of grandmother spirit or nurturing energy, or just this general stagnant slowing down of energy. And it, when it's following the 10 of staves in the right side up position, where I said if you were elevated to a higher position at work or creative project, whatever, and you started to delegate tasks to others, it could be that the slowing down of energy is because now you're able to spend more time with your family, your significant other, friends and family, all of it, okay? It could be for some people. But the majority of people, I feel that there is something going on. When we talk about family, there's something going on with some family issues here for some of you guys, okay? Because we have, okay, this energy of right kind of kitty corner, catty corner, whatever you call it. You have the Queen of Sacred Circles, which I just showed you in reverse. And then over here is the King of Sacred Circles right side up. So you have the King and the Queen, okay? And right next to the King of Sacred Circles, you have the Six of Sacred Circles in reverse. That talks about a lack of balance, okay? And if we look at these three cards together, just the way that they were on the table, right? So technically it was like that, right? So it's interesting. There's something could be for some of you guys going on here with family, if these two people are related, right? If they are the king and queen, both of the sacred circles, both within the same minor arcana group here. But these two cards, what they represent, this is what's on the top and the bottom of your main set of tarot cards here in the center, right? So this is past energy. So what you have and what is past, recent past, or way, way back past, it depends, right, on every person, okay? Could be a couple months ago, could be years, weeks, whatever it is, minutes, seconds, whatever, okay? But you have on the top the Six of Sacred Circles in reverse. And then on the bottom of the deck, you had the King of Sacred Circles right side up. So it's like there's a lack of balance here. Because that's what the Six of Sacred Circles means. It could also be that, this is another, wait, you have 1, 2, 3, well, technically only 3 cards that have the moon here in the background in some way. So it could be that this is starting to be felt around, I said a little bit before the full moon in December, the last full moon of this year, 2021, right? But when it comes together with this other card, it's like the lack of balance here between masculine and feminine, okay? Regardless if this is past energy and this is more current future kind of, well, it's past energy too, December 6th kind of energy, but there's this, like, basically, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to say it in the most simple way. When I was talking to Spirit and I was saying this lack of nurturing feminine energy, is it related, right, to the King of Sacred Circles? Is the Queen in reverse related? It said yes. It said, does it bring up family issues that are out of balance in some way? It said yes. But here's the other key point. This is your first confirmation card for the first 9 cards here in the first group, okay? You have this Taurus energy here, the Hierophant in the reverse position, okay? This is a lack of leadership skills or qualities or wanting to be a leader in some way. So when you put it together with the King and the Queen, it could be that for some of you guys, there is a more, I'm trying to think of the right way to say, a more familiarity with leadership qualities being masculine, right? And we all have masculine and feminine inside of us, right? But there's a lack of this feminine energy, or it is feminine energy, right? Even, again, we all have masculine and feminine energy, putting gender aside. So it's like it's saying it wants balance, but there wasn't balance in the past. And it also, the Hierophant in reverse also talks about not only leadership qualities, right? But having faith in a mentor, a teacher, a spiritual guide, a priest, okay? But when it's in reverse, it's like I don't have faith in those people Or if I used to have faith in them and look to them for answers, now I don't trust their answers, or their answers don't matter. Something about this, okay? But if we think about the winter, or not even winter time, we think about the holiday season, right? Of course, it's with family, okay? Even more so now, depending on how you're affected by the pandemic, right? So, there's just this like lack of balance of like maybe if this is your energy here, Leo, you're not stepping into, or someone in your family is not stepping into their feminine leadership qualities because maybe the masculine leadership is louder or respected more, which is normal for most patriarchal societies, right? We always kind of tend to think that masculine energy is more respected, or just kind of how we are conditioned in our society. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I did feel this really interesting energy here. So if this is resonating, particularly this part of the reading for you, I would maybe do some meditation or journaling here to find out and figure out what this brings up for you, okay? Because yeah, it's not like, oh my God, the end of the world type thing, but it just was really interesting. I felt like that those 4 cards kind of came out and made this little triangle of energy here. So you still have some really good cards, and I'm not like saying that this is a bad thing. It's just I haven't seen that in a while. So anyway, blah blah blah. Yes, yes, yes. Going forward here, I'm gonna get a sip of coffee because coffee is life. For some, maybe. No, water is life. But yeah, let's get into your second group of cards here and see what else is coming out for you for the next 3 weeks, or the 3 weeks that we're talking about for the end of this reading, okay? If we're talking about the 4th row here, the 1st row in the second group, this is energy around, I gotta look back at the calendar again. I think that is, this was December 6th. So this is December 13th. This row is December 20th. The last row is December 27th through January 2nd or so. All right, so the 13th. Okay. So we'll go ahead and call out your cards, and then we'll go in order here, Leo. Okay. So you have the World in the right side up position, the 2 of Staves right side up, the 5 of Staves right side up, the 4 of Staves right side up, the 2 of Swords in the reverse, 4 of Sacred Circles in the reverse, the Hanged One in the right side up position, also known as the Hanged Man right side up, the Strength card right side up. There is some Leo energy. That is your card. It's a good omen. We'll talk about that when we get there. And then also the Princess of Staves in the reverse position here. Okay, so Leo, yes. You have 2 repeating cards. So we'll talk about that more towards the end because that's where they are. But anytime that happens, if you've watched me before, you know the deal. But if you're new or new to tarot, right, it's a particular message. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth. From Spirit to pay closer attention because there's usually 72 cards in each tarot deck unless otherwise stated. So when it shows up in 2 different decks and I shuffle a lot and cut the deck and do my fish pile, when it comes out like that again, it's really a particular message from Spirit to pay closer attention, okay? So I will say what they are now, just calling them out, but then we'll talk about it later. So you have 2 Magician cards, and you have 2 Four of Pentacles, 4 of Sacred Circles cards, okay? So very interesting. All right. Now going back to the first card in your 4th row here in that week of December 13th, you have the World card in the right side up position. So this is really beautiful energy, right? This is carving something out of nothing, a blank slate, new beginnings, okay? very abundant energy, but also can be like hinting to hard work too, right? So even if there's nothing there yet and it's exciting of all the different possibilities it could be, it still is going to require some kind of work, okay? This is very abundant energy, forward momentum, positive energy, all of those things. And so some of the cards, not cards, some of the zodiac signs that go with this card are Taurus energy, Leo energy, Aquarius energy, and Scorpio energy, okay? But really nice here. And this world energy and that week of December 13th here, Leo, kind of starts off the energy before your next three cards that are all staves or wands cards, and they're all in the right side up position. And they all kind of speak to communication with others. And again, going back to what I said, that kind of undertone of your whole reading here, because I think you had 6 wands cards, was dealing with defenses, defense mechanisms, and also the wand or the stave can be either a weapon or a tool, right? So kind of like going to talk about that, okay? But with the 2 of staves as your 9, 10, 11th card in the deck here, or in your spread, sorry, is this energy of, okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit. There's been a lot of, go energy. If we talk about when we go back to your first group of cards here. And following the world card, when I said it's like really important because it's like you're going to have to put in a lot of work or effort to create whatever you want to manifest with this abundant world energy. So here, when the 2 of staves comes up, it's like, okay, I'm going to get my emotions under control with the Nile River in the background here. And we see the back of this Egyptian woman's head. So she's people watching. She's looking at the other ships going up and down the Nile River and trying to figure out, can I learn anything from somebody else who might have been in a similar situation or life circumstance that I find myself in? But I really want to make my next move really calculated and the right decision or the right next move. So it's a slowing down of energy here, okay? And really getting to know yourself too, right? Because if you got your emotions under control and in a positive, balanced way, then you're going to know yourself. And how do you get to know yourself? You've got that introspection, taking a break from other people. You can still watch them and maybe get some advice here or there, but it's really about going inward, okay? Now, moving forward into your, gosh, I'm losing the number, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12th card is the 5 of staves in the right side up position here, Leo. And this is towards the end of last week, right? December 13th or so, okay? So the 5 of staves is about working with others, your support system, whatever that may be, friends, family, significant other, mental health care worker, all of the above, whatever it is, to kind of come in and have you not take life so seriously here in some way. Because you see these 4 guys here in this Egyptian scene, and they look like there are architects, right? So they're working on some type of building or scroll that they're going to make together. Okay, but it's like, oh wait, actually let's put the pyramid over here. Oh, like let's erase it and put it over here. So it's like this energy of relying on your support system and being flexible in your plans for the future in some way, and also having time to play and practice and crack jokes, right? If you're looking at them, if they're all coworkers or whatever coworkers, if you get along with your coworkers, there also could be a support system as well too here. But it's really nice energy to kind of being like slowly welcoming you back into the energy, right? So if you talk about the 5 of staves following the 2 of staves, it's like now your support system may be welcoming you back in to making this important next step or decision that you're thinking about, and to maybe not take it as seriously, because over here this is like real serious, right? But here it's like, okay, let's balance that out with the support system and make it flexible for the future. Now, going forward into your 5th week, December 20th, where we are now, right? We have the 4 of staves in the right side up position. That's your other wands or staves card, okay, in order here. Or not in order, but they're all kind of following each other in this one section. And so this is about communication, a vulnerable communication between two people or two parties or between two groups of people, or however you want to interpret it, okay? But you see the two people in the card here in this Egyptian scene, and there's wine and cheese and all the good stuff on the table, but they're over here not even paying attention to that and really having some deep conversation. So this is also a celebratory energy, and it's also a union card, okay? So it could be that you feel yourself in the week that we're in now. Excuse me, I can't stop. Hold on. I'm having allergies. Okay. It's been really windy here. This union we were talking about, and the celebratory energy of the Four of Staves, and this vulnerability of the conversation, or several conversations, right? It could be that there's a union that was already here before, but now it's being strengthened on a deeper level, again, with friends or family, a romantic partnership, whatever it is, okay? Or even union of different parts of yourself. But it's really beautiful celebratory energy here, and I like to see it, okay? Now, I also wanted to mention that a couple of the other readings had the Two of Staves somewhere in their reading, and then also the Two of Swords somewhere in their reading, and they were in different places and different positions. Some were right side up, some were reversed, okay? But this could speak to some general astrology of this time period, or again, kind of hinting at the ending of one year and the beginning of another year right around the corner, okay? Because as your, oh my gosh, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th card is the Two of Swords in the reverse position. All right, so when this follows the Four of Staves, it's like, okay, we had the celebratory energy, party time energy, good communications energy, to here being like, can I open my heart chakra? I don't know if I can. If I can, how do I integrate it? I don't know if I can integrate it with my intellect. All right. For some people, not everyone. For the other group of you guys, it could be that you already integrated your heart chakra with your intellect, and now you're ready to come out of that energy of this kind of passive energy in the past, and now you're ready to go, okay? So it will be different for everybody, but for the majority, I do feel like it's the first thing I mentioned, where it's like, I don't know if I can integrate my heart chakra with my intellect. I don't know if I'm ready to come out of some type of decision-making process, okay? Because we go back to the Two of Staves, right? We already talked about, and this one was right under the Two of Swords in reverse. So both like decision-making cards. They're both like trying to get their emotions under control and integrate their emotions, right? So in this week that we're in now here, depending on when you're watching the reading, there could be also something going on here, Leo, where it's like a little bit of back and forth energy, where like on one hand, you are not wanting to integrate your heart chakra, or the other person isn't, or multiple people, or general environment situation, right? It's not always you. But then right quickly, a couple days later, maybe, you have the Four of Sacred Circles in reverse, where it's like, I'm letting go of fear. So maybe this was like triggering that. So maybe somebody was like, said to you, are you ever going to open your heart chakra? Or you said that to yourself, or, you know, whatever the situation may be, right? And then maybe that triggered the energy of, now I'm going to let go of control. Now I'm going to let go of fear in some way, okay? Because you have as your 15th card, tarot card, the Four of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, okay? So it's interesting too, because it's almost like maybe in the past here, Leo, because when the card is right side up, there's this Native American man smoking the peace pipe, and the smoke represents communication. but it's in reverse. So maybe in the past, you were only listening to your own emotions, which is good. You want to listen to your intuition always and your gut instincts. But maybe in the past, you weren't open enough to let go of the fear, let go of the control, and as far as how you communicate or they communicate, etc. But now you are trying to, again, integrate these things. So, how do I open my heart chakra and merge it with my intellect? Not only that, how do I listen to my intuition and my inner gut feelings with also listening to others' point of view or advice, etc. So it's like about integration here for you during this week in some way. I really feel that. Now, before we get to your last week for next week and beyond into January a little bit, let's talk about one of your repeating cards, right? Because I did say one of your repeating cards was the Four of Sacred Circles, also known as the Four of Pentacles, okay? So one, the yellow border here is past energy, and the one here we just talked about is that future current energies of this week. So again, when you have Spirit having the same card come out in the same reading, it's a really rare and it's like a particular message from Spirit to pay attention, okay, to what the Four of Pentacles represents for you in your life at this time, right? So again, I just want to talk about two, because these are, let me slow down. I'm like, I got excited. These two cards are what was on the top and the bottom of this other deck. Okay, so this is past energy. All right, and what is the recent past? You have to ask yourself, right? But we have 10 of the Pentacles, 10 of the Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles in the right side up position here on the top of your deck. And then you have the Four of Pentacles right side up on the bottom of your deck. So in the recent past, there was a lot of abundant energy. There was a lot of growth in some way. There was a lot of sharing, having more than enough that you needed. If it wasn't just right, abundance and growth aren't just money, but it could be other things. But then in some way, somebody here, if it's not you directly, Leo, someone around you, became too controlling with the money, became too controlling with the growth and abundance, and was operating out of a place of fear or lack, okay? And this is past energy, okay? Because here, like I said, in the current week that we're at, in the fifth row here, it really feels like you don't want to do that anymore, or you don't want to be around that energy if it wasn't necessarily you doing it, but you don't want to be around that energy because, who wants to operate from a place of fear and control or a place of lack when you know that there is more than enough, for everybody, and you want to get to sharing the love and working on the growth and abundance, okay? So we'll just leave that there for a second and go back to, or not go back, but go to what we're talking about next, which is your last row here, the sixth row, and this is the week of December 27th to about January 2nd. Again, not exact, okay? So as your 16th tarot card, we have the Hanged Man in the right side up position. And in this deck, it's called the Hanged One, right? Because it's a baby fetus, okay? So we don't know if it's a man or a woman, okay? But this is a really beautiful energy following the goat. Just to step back 1 second, to following the Four of Sacred Circles or Four of Pentacles in reverse, because now it's like somebody's going to get a new perspective, see something from a different angle. That's what the Hanged Man is all about becoming more grounded, okay? And taking that integration that we were talking about from this current week, depending on when you're watching, and then saying, okay, how do I make that a part of my new self, my new being? How do I move forward with this integrations and spiritual downloads and revelations and all those things, okay? So really nice. And then, so exciting here, Leo. here's your card. You showed up. I kind of mentioned it briefly earlier that when you show up in your own reading, it's always a good omen. So here we have the Strength card. This is the Leo energy in the tarot, okay? And so it's like once you integrate these things and you ground yourself more and you see things from a new perspective, you start feeling like yourself again. You start having more strength, okay? And strength obviously isn't just a woman wrestling a lion, but it's inner strength as well, okay? And being able to manifest things in the future. Because what does she have right above her? She has the infinity symbol. This is the magic symbol that is also in the magician card. Look at that. Okay. All right. So it's almost like you could be reminding yourself, or others could be reminding yourself, or again, how it resonates for you about like you've been strong before in the past, you've been able to manifest in the past, and now that you did this integration and you're seeing something from a new perspective, you can draw on that past strength to bring you forward even more and for momentum and positive energy about whatever you're trying to manifest in your life. So beautiful, beautiful Leo. Yes, yes, yes. There you are in your reading. Now, before we talk about your last card in the main center here, I wanted to talk about real quickly your other repeating card, which is the Magician. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about it after. Yeah, after. Sorry, my bad. I mentioned it before that it was the Magician, so it's not a big secret. But let's first finish this part, and then we'll go there. Okay. So, excuse me. Your 18th tarot card here, Leo, is the Princess of Spades in the reverse position. Okay, this is your last card in the center in the second grouping of cards here. Okay, but this speaks about yes, right on the bell there. This speaks about possibly for some people some loyalty issues, because you have the dog here right by the princess when the card is right side up, so it's reversed. So it could be there could be some loyalty issues here with someone, or even with yourself, or it could be, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of second guessing. Okay, loyalty is about who you can trust. Can I trust myself? Right, your Leo card. You're in your own reading. Can I trust myself to rise to the occasion and be confident? Can I trust myself to level up in some way and be open to learning? Can I trust myself to be a princess that isn't a queen yet, but's on her way? Okay, so that's kind of what I feel for that card. Okay, and if it's not that, it could just be a little bit of stagnant energy. Now, energy ebbs and flows, right? If you've watched tarot before, or just know in life, right, you could have some really good cards and then some bad, challenging blockages and stagnant energy, and then it goes back to good, and then it goes, so it could just be a little bit of that too. It depends, again, on everyone, because it's going to be different. It's a general reading. But moving forward or going backward, depending on how you look at it, let's talk about your second repeating card, okay, the Magician. So it's cool to see, again, how the different artists depict the energy, okay? So again, anytime you have a repeating card, it's 1 in 72 chances that the card will come out in another deck. And in this instance, they're both in the right side up position. One is, energy from your first card the week of November 24th or so. And then this one is your confirmation card, confirming your last 9 cards here in the second group, okay? So it's like, I mean, gosh, Leo, you have a lot of wonderful energy in this reading. You have the Magician, you have the Fool right side up, you have the World right side up, you have the Hanged Man right side up, you have the Strength card, excuse me, right side up, and then you have the Magician again right side up. So it's like really about, once you say to yourself, let me just show you these 3 cards together. right? When I with the dog and the Princess of Staves in reverse. Can I trust myself to have the strength to move forward, to level up in some way, to be confident? And here the magician is like, yes, you do. You're gonna have it, and then you're gonna have it again, and then you're gonna have it again, because you've done it before in some way. So this is kind of spirit reminding you, okay? You're gonna have all the tools that you need on the altar. Okay, he's got all the minor arcanas. He's got the cups, the wands, the swords, the pentacles. He has everything. He has the confidence. He has all the abundance he needs. Okay, he has his voice. He's stepping into his power. So really, really beautiful here, Leo. I hope that this was helpful in some way and hopefully resonates for you. Now, this is what we have as far as the tarot, but before we go, we do have your little oracle cards too. All right. So your first oracle message for matters of love, whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family or self-love or all of the above, right? Your love oracle message is let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Okay. Yeah, so I won't repeat myself, but I'll just put it with your first repeating card, the Four of Pentacles, also known as the Four of Sacred Circles. Let go of the control in the romantic situation. Let go of the control with the friends or family situations. Let go of the control with your self-love situations. Just let things flow. Don't come from a place of fear or controlling energy. All right. And then your last oracle card, and I really hope I say this right. This is this new oracle deck that my dear friend got me. It's the Kalima Oracle by Elena Fairchild. And I think the artist was Jimmy Manton. So your card is, okay. Don't look at me, guys. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Help me, guys. So it looks like it is how did I say this before? Kuru Kala? Shit, I don't know, guys. Help me. It's Kurukulla. Look how badass that is. All right. So this is some type of form of Kalima we'll get into in just a moment here. I really hope I was pronouncing that right because I don't think I was, but bear with me. Some of the Indian words I know, some of them I don't, okay? But I will just briefly talk about what she represents here. Let me get a little closer. So yeah, she's all red here, and the majority of the card is red and green, but she's got a different arrow in each hand. She's got a crown on, she's got her armor. I mean, she looks pretty badass, right? Okay, so it says, she is vibrant red, pulsating with the feminine power of the enlightened activity. Infusing our hearts with her capacity for sacred sorcery to conjure and create according to love's guiding wisdom. To receive the divine inheritance of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment, certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency need to be cleared away. The fear and control we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me turn that down. And let's see, where were we? Yes. The lesson is to release, to receive. Okay. So Kurukulla symbolizes a time of rapid movement on your life path and freedom to attract what you need and want. However, you must be willing to let go of negativity and that which does not belong in your world. Kurukulla is a shamanic folk goddess who's adapted into the spiritual traditions of Hinduism and Buddhism. Kurukulla is one of the Kali Natras, the medicine goddess of the waning moon cycle, a powerful sorceress, enchantress, and conqueror of enemies. Hers is the realm of magnetism and charisma, spellcrafting, and the power of attraction. Oh my God, remember in the beginning of the reading, I kept saying priestess instead of princess. They just said she's a sorceress, right? So that's really interesting. All right, so what else does it say here? Because I'm not going to read the whole thing. One of the powers that she has bestows is the ability to remain open to life without fear. Let's see if there's a little prayer and then we'll end it, or offering to her. Let's see. Her aim is always true, right? Because I said she had all the arrows in her 3 arms. Her delivery is swift. When we connect with her in a reading, our purpose shall be rapid like the arrow, speedingly flying through the air. We shall hit our mark because our direction is correct and our focus is honed. Okay, yes. What else? Real quickly. Okay, here's our little prayer. Okay, it says, Kuru Kala, beloved goddess of attraction and submutation, I invite your sacred protection and wisdom to manifest in my life for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I open myself to life, held safely in the ruby red sanctuary of your being. Clear my path to true bliss, Ma. My heart dances with yours in happiness and grace now. May all beings be liberated joyfully into your blissful nature. Ja Ma Kuru Kala. Yeah. All right. So, wait, I think this is how you pronounce it. It's like a little mantra. You're supposed to say 11 times. Om Kuru Kala. Okay. Kuru Kale. Him, so tara, tam swaha. Oh my God. Let me try it again. Okay. Om Kuru Kola Hrim Soham Tara Tam Swaha. Okay. So if you can say that 11 times, that is what you can do. So hopefully I said that right. But yeah, if you're wanting to look more into her, you can check it out. Just do a Google search of the Kalima Oracle by Elena Fairchild and put in card number 34, Kuru Kala. I said it right. And you can read the rest of what's going on in this book about her. Okay. So that is your reading here, Leo. And what are we at? Almost an hour here. So I will let you go. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break and then come back, hopefully, with Virgo. Yes, Virgo is next. So if you want to, you can join me there. But if not, that's okay too. I just hope you guys take care. And thank you so much, as always, for your views, for your likes, for your subscriptions. It does help my channel. And all of it is free. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, all you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active. And it just tells you when I put out new videos. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. All right, bye.